Good morning and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, something important I gotta do here. A couple of viewers drew to my attention that these little guns here are not protected. And I actually brushed against them a couple of times yesterday when I was messing around over there. So I'm gonna cut some wire. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use the holes that are here or if I'm going to maybe very carefully try and drill holes a little closer, because if I run a hoop, you know, right across from, say, from here, from this hole right across to this hole, I'm going to be wanting to be painting and working in here. It's going to be sort of in the way. So I'm going to have to come up with something a little bit different, I think. Okay, now another thing. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you might notice that my old Seiko watch is an hour ahead. In other words, the last time I wore this, it was daylight savings time, which we will be going on in less than 48 hours. So Sunday's video will be 1 hour earlier than normal, unless you also change your time on Sunday. I know they're talking about banning that, and they're getting real serious about it. Apparently the story goes that Canada is waiting for the United States to do it. So if the States changes, you know, and bans daylight savings time, you might say, then we will too. Now, way back in the 70s, when we went metric, we didn't wait for the United States to go metric, we just did it. We did the right thing. So I'm hoping that Canada does the right thing and bans this crazy daylight savings time. Don't wait for the United States. You know, I know they're 10 times bigger than us, but I mean, do we have to do everything that they do? Yeah, let's be our own person here, eh? All right, enough silliness here. Let's rearrange things, and you know what? I think probably the best way for me to drill a hole in this is maybe set up my little drill press here on the table, and because I don't want to end up going right through the bottom of this board. I think we talked about that. I like the idea that when I put a wire or something in there. Well, I won't use this one. This is my threaded brass rod. Anyway, it doesn't go right down all the way to into the I was going to say carpet. I meant the tablecloth. Okay, yeah, let's reorganize ourselves here, and probably the next time you see this, I'll have rigged up some sort of protection here. Because like I say, I don't want the hoop to go right across, or I'm not going to be able to, you know, manipulate myself around over there. All right, yeah, I forgot. We got a rollback. Yeah. How did I get to this place right here? I honestly forgot. I didn't stage this. Oh boy, I'm starting to get worried about myself. Anyway, let's roll back and see how it is that we got to here. Now, it has been my experience that whenever I've tried to cut something really small like this, at least if I want to rip it, that is, I have better luck if I put it on what I call a sled. In other words, I'll put it down on something like this. So I'll have a little block of wood in behind it. This will all be fastened together. And I slide all of this together against the fence. And then naturally this becomes a sacrificial piece of wood. Now I actually pulled this out of the garbage down in the workshop a few minutes ago. So yeah, maybe it was too good to throw in the garbage. Well, obviously, because I need it now. And this little piece of wood, well, I had it up here off of something, can't remember what. So this is all going to be, you know, we're going to sacrifice it, you might say. And we're just going to make up a sled here. And what I did was, when I was down in the workshop, I just sort of
rounded the front of this just a little bit here so that it doesn't catch on anything on the bandsaw. Like where the blade goes through the bandsaw, there's an insert, and it's a little bit uneven right there. And if you try to run something like this through it, it'll inevitably dig down into that and sort of catch. And then you're pushing harder and harder and harder, and then all of a sudden it goes. I've never cut myself, but the person could. I think I've scared myself a few times. Anyway, it's best to use a sled, and we'll be using this down in the workshop. I'm just going to fasten this on with a CA thick, and then the Insta set. I think it'll be ready to use in about an hour, and maybe we'll rip this evening yet and see what happens. Okay, we're all squared up and glued up, and I think probably about an hour from now that CA thick should be strong enough to use. I'm guessing almost an hour has passed here. I'm not going to try and see how strong this is because I probably could break it off. But afterwards I was thinking that when I shove this in through the saw against the fence right here, my hand represents the fence, I might want to pull it back, and something like this is kind of hard to get a hold of, especially when one side is up against the fence. So I'm just going to put a little handle on the back here. I'm just going to use my hot glue gun, and I was thinking afterwards that what I could have done probably is hot glued this on. If I had known I was going to use this, I probably would have. I'm just going to put a little handle at the back here. You'll probably recognize these as those things I made up for my my tweezers, so that they would be like self-locking tweezers. It was a good idea that never got used, or hardly ever, let's put it that way. What would be the best way here? It doesn't, just so I can grab onto it. It doesn't have to be fancy. That's not coming off. Well, here we are in one of my favorite places. I've said this before, but I have spent thousands of hours down here, I guess, over the last few years. And, alright, before we get going here, I have two bandsaws. This is the small one. The heavy-duty one is over there. Now, a pen blank. It can be many different things and made of different material, usually wood. Like this is maple, this is oak. They're all about 3/4 of an inch square and usually about 5 inches long. This is purple heart. It actually is quite nice. And this is a piece of some kind of willow that somebody gave me. I waxed the end so it wouldn't dry out. I don't know if I'll ever use it. Maybe someday I will. It'll probably turn down really nice. Now these blanks here, now we call them a pen blank. Okay, these are acrylic, and these I bought. They were poured this way already. Most guys buy their acrylic blanks. They don't pour their own. I just like to do my own stuff, but that's me. Okay, I'm going to reset up here now, and the reason for this cord is to remind me, just a minute, I'll eventually stand up here, is to remind me to tension the blade. Otherwise what happens is I'll start the saw up and the blade will come off the wheels. So, okay, now it won't. Okay, just let me recompose here. We'll get moved in a little bit better, and it's going to get really noisy here. I'll be wearing my ear protection. I won't be able to talk to you, so if I got to say anything to you, we'll have to do the voiceover thing. Okay, bear with me, please. Okay, now I should be able to talk to you for a minute here before I get the dust collector turned on. And it gets hopelessly noisy here. Now what I'm going to want to try to do is just take off, you might say, a blade's width off of this top side. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the bottom side, and then hopefully we're going to be able to split it right down the middle afterwards and end up with two pieces that are basically square and about 3.5 inches long. So that's going to be the plan. So I'll just get my fence adjusted here to what I think is going to be right. And I don't want to take off any more than I have to, and yet I want to make sure that the blade is not going to come out and ride on the outside. So it probably wouldn't, but it might. You know Murphy's Law, right? So we'll try it like that, see what happens. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're all still there, okay? Usually after I do a shoot down in my workshop and I've used one of the saws, I get comments like, "I saw you start your saw and I got scared." And then another gal will comment, "I know somebody who lost their arm in one of those things." You know what? I know somebody who died driving their car. You gonna stop driving your car? Okay, anyway, we've had our rant now. Okay, I think that most likely this one here will make the best. Well, it's kind of hard to tell. Either one of these could be good. This one could also be good once I start to turn it down. But I got a feeling we're going to get 2 pens out of this. That's my thinking. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, this is where I usually say something like, "Well, it is morning." Except I can't say that, because if I can see the clock on the monitor, well, you can see it too. Anyway, I think if I make a hole, like right about, I guess right there. Yeah, we can see that. And another hole like right here. Okay, and then I run a piece of wire up like this and around and down through the other hole. And of course the same on the other side. That'll afford some sort of protection, I would think. At least that's the plan. Now, to try and drill nice and close like this without the chuck catching on something, I don't know if the bit will be long enough, because I want to go right down about 1/2 inch further down than what the bottom of my pencil is there. So we'll see what we can do.
Now as for our sunrises, which have been non-existent. Yeah, they've been pretty gray. Somewhere between a Tamiya XF-19 and a Tamiya XF-77. I'm noticing, though, that our walkers are appearing more or less at the same time, and when they get to the end of the bridge, I believe there must be some sort of an icy patch, because there's a bit of hesitation goes on, and one of them is hanging on to the railing pretty good. Yeah, maybe I should get out there and put some salt and gravel down. What do you think? Okay, we are not getting very much painting done here, are we? Now, I've got the table adjusted here so that when this goes all the way down as far as it will go, which is right there, I don't like the way this, I guess you call it the quill or whatever, is a little bit on the loose side. But you know, what do you expect? For the price, it's not precision price, so you don't get precision, right? Anyway, yeah, so it won't come out the bottom of the board, in other words, unless I happen to lift the board up a little bit while it's drilling, but probably won't. Now, there should be enough distance from here to here that this is not going to catch on anything. But I'm just going to try it. I have not tried it yet. You are seeing it along with me for the first time. So does it look like when I bring this in, am I going to catch this on one of the guns? Let's just come down here. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so down we go. Okay, so it's going to go about 5/8 of an inch further down than that. So we're okay. We're probably by about 1/4 of an inch. You know, I think I could just go ahead and do it right now. Why not? I'm going to have to let this back up so I can push the start button. Okay, looked like we had a little bit of run out going on in this bit, but that's because I was just barely catching it here with the top of the chuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand up here because I can't see this hole. All right. We more or less got it here, folks. I had a bit of a pleasant surprise here a moment ago. My doorbell rings, and well, I guess it's like half an hour ago or more. And it turns out it's a neighbor from just down the other side of Merv. And he's a guy same age as me. And he's also a widower, I guess you'd call it. So he's all on his own, and he's just checking out my ships, and we talked about how we got to keep busy. Anyway, I think that this is protected a little better now. There's less chance of, I'm just wondering if maybe what I should do is have it bent out just a little bit more. Well, that should be alright. I don't think I can, I guess I could, I still could catch this, but not like before. Okay,
So I'm just going to do the same on the other side here now. Well, I am going to have to wrap today's episode up. I know we didn't get very much done. I've wanted to do some painting yet, and I might yet today, I don't know. But that's it for today. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.